Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Eternal Shift New Life. Margaret Lloyd here. Welcome to part 2 of strategies used by successful people to handle toxic people. We need to learn how to do that because they're out there in the world, in our world. We don't want them in our world, but they're there. So let's deal with them, okay? So we're going to start with successful people set limits, especially for complainers. So, complainers and negative people are bad news. So true. Amen to that. Because they wallow in their problems. Fail to focus on solutions. I used to be one of those. They want people to join in their pity party so that they can feel better about themselves. Often people listen to complainers to avoid seeming rude, but can easily be drawn into their negativity. Absolutely. And you don't want to be drug into that. You can avoid this only by setting limits and distancing yourself when necessary. Think of it this way. If the complainer were smoking, would you sit there all afternoon inhaling the secondhand smoke? No. You distance yourself. And you should do the same with complainers. A great way to set limits is to ask complainers how they intend to fix the problem. They will either quiet down or redirect the conversation to a productive direction. Yeah, and that's what they should do, is turn it into a positive direction. And quit complaining. Figure out how to work through it. I know it's not easy. I go through the same issues. Like right now, I have financial issues. It's the end of December. Money was spent on Christmas and food and stuff. Now we're going to have to eat off that food and stuff for the next few days until payday. But we work through it. We have solutions. They don't die in the fight. No, we don't. Successful people know how important it is to live to fight another day. Especially when your foe is a toxic individual. Absolutely. I had a toxic individual. In conflict, unchecked emotion makes you dig your heels in and fight the kind of battle that can leave you severely damaged. Absolutely. He used to damage me every day. When you read and respond to your emotions, you're able to choose your battles wisely and only stand your ground when time is right. Hi, dear Miss Snickers. Hi. Did you decide to come join? Can you go close the door? Or you want Mommy to go close the door? Let Mommy go close the door so she doesn't hear the noises and stuff. Lay down. Okay. You want a treat? I have your favorite treats back here. special for you. So, we stand our ground. We don't die in the fight. We continue to go another day. We do what we have to be positive. We rise above toxic people. Toxic people drive you crazy because their behavior is so irrational and erratic. Make no mistake about it, their behavior truly goes against reason. So why do you allow yourself to respond to them emotionally and get sucked into the mix? Yeah, we can't. We have to stay out of it. Lay down, baby. Good girl. Gave her the signal. So why do you allow yourself to respond to them emotionally and get sucked into the mix? You shouldn't. Just respond to them without emotion. That's the best thing. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy to respond without emotion. But we have to learn to do that. And we can do that, okay? I know I can. The more irrational and off base someone is, the easier it should be for you to remove yourself from their traps. You just walk away. Quit trying to beat them at their own game because you can't. Because truly, toxic people, they stay that way. They don't learn to stop being toxic. It's the more irrational and off base someone is, the easier it should be for you to remove yourself from their traps. Quit trying to beat them at their own game. You can't. You can't. Distance yourself from them emotionally and approach your interactions like they're a science project. Ah! So if your toxic person is your spouse, use them as a science project. Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. I got rid of him instead. Or if you're their shrink, if you prefer the analogy, you don't need to respond to the emotional chaos, just the facts. Absolutely. Stay aware of their emotions. Because the toxic person has emotions. And their emotions are huge. But you can do this. Maintaining an emotional distance requires awareness. So if you're aware of what triggers them, then you'll know how to handle them. Number one, you don't want to trigger somebody. Nobody does. But some toxic people don't need to be triggered to be triggered. They just are. Maintaining an emotional distance requires awareness. You can't stop someone from pushing your buttons if you don't recognize when it's happening. Sometimes you'll find yourself in situations where you'll need to regroup and choose the best way forward. This is fine, and you shouldn't be afraid to buy yourself some time to do so. Think of it this way. If a mentally unstable person approaches you on the street and tells you he's John F. Kennedy, you're unlikely to set him straight. because you'll know that he is mentally unstable. Sometimes you'll find yourself in situations where you'll need to regroup and choose the best way forward. This is fine, and you shouldn't be afraid to buy yourself some time to do so. Think of it this way. Okay. When you find yourself with a coworker who's engaged in similarly derailed thinking, sometimes it's best to just smile and nod. You know those people. We've all worked with, known people like that, where you just go, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. If you're going to have to straighten them out, it's better to give yourself some time to plan the best way to go about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want to get in with somebody and it's a sticky situation and you need time to formulate. You just tell them, hey, I'll be with you in a few minutes. I got to check something out. Just let them know that you're in the middle of something, whether you really are or not. But let them know that you'll be with them in a few minutes. And they'll be fine. Not a problem. We establish boundaries with toxic people. Oh my God, do we need boundaries with toxic people? Absolutely. Most people undervalue their ability to manage chaos when working or living with someone. This couldn't be further from the truth. Once you've found your way to rise above a person, you'll begin to find their behavior more predictable and easier to understand. I need to do this with Mom because she's toxic. And I need to learn to rise above it. This will equip you to think rationally about when and where you have to put up with them and when you don't. For example, if you work with someone closely on a project team, that doesn't mean that you need to have the same level of one-on-one interaction with them that you have with other team members. This may be somebody you don't click. And if you don't click, you don't click. You can establish a boundary for that person. That person can't, let's say, interrupt you. Whatever. That's just, a little something. You can establish a boundary, but you'll have to do so consciously and proactively. If you let things happen naturally, you're bound to find yourself constantly embroiled in difficult conversations. If you set boundaries and decide when and where you'll engage a difficult person, you can control much of the chaos. The only trick is to stick to your guns and keep boundaries in place when the person tries to encroach upon them. And they will. don't let anybody limit my joy. When I'm happy, I'm happy. And ain't nobody going to get in the way. Like right now, I'm happy as can be. Why? Because I woke up in a good mood. I was able to do my journaling. I was able to take Snickers for a walk because the weather was good this morning. It wasn't rainy. It's dreary and gray. Personally, I need some sunshine. I need sunshine on my shoulders, sunshine on my head. It keeps me bright. It keeps me going. I need sunshine. Come on, sun, shine on down on me. But I know we can't always have the sunshine, so we got these little pills called vitamin D2 and D3. But you have to have a prescription for D3. Isn't that weird? So, don't let anybody limit your joy. When your sense of pleasure and satisfaction are derived from the opinions of other people, you're no longer the master of your own happiness. When emotionally intelligent people feel good about something that they've done, they won't let anyone's opinion or snide remarks take that away from them. Not at all. I can't wait to finish this sweater and see what kind of remarks I get. I hope it's good. Sit down. And I love getting the positive feedback from you all on my blogs. That helps me do better for you. While it's lay down, baby. While it's impossible to turn off your reactions to what others think of you, you don't have to compare yourself to others. No. You can always take people's opinions with a grain of salt, as I do. I used to be able to let snide comments just roll off my back. But it seems that as I grew older, those things bothered me. Remarks from coworkers. I guess you could say I got hard. I don't know, but I just haven't been able to let that roll off me. But I'm getting there. I'm getting back to there. I believe whatever, I won't call it brainwashing that Martin did, but he pulled me in to his negativity. Even though he says, that he doesn't like negativity, he really was a very negative person. And he pulled me into that. And I'm getting out of it. I'm getting to where I am a positive person. So if you take their opinions with a grain of salt, that way, no matter what toxic people are thinking or doing, your self-worth comes from within. And that's where it has to come from within. Regardless of what people think of you at any particular moment, one thing is certain. You're never as good or as bad as they say you are. Successful people don't focus on problems. They focus on solutions. And that's what we're working on today. concentrating on your own challenges can perpetrate stress and negative feelings. However, directing your attention towards self-improvement and enhancing your situation fosters a feeling of empowerment, leading to positivity and diminished stress levels. Oh, absolutely. My stress levels lately have, even though it's Christmas and fixing the Christmas meal and all this, I did not feel stressed on Christmas Day putting together dinner. I enjoyed it. I was having fun. I didn't feel stressed. I didn't have anybody in my household complaining that dinner wasn't ready yet, that there was nothing to eat, that they're bored. I'm so glad to not have that negativity in my life anymore. Because that's what it is. When you have somebody that is bugging you about a meal that you've been working on since 8 a.m. in the morning, you can't have a peaceful day. That's a stressful day. Well, I didn't have that. And we ate our turkey. We had our sides. And we had our dessert. We may not have eaten dessert after dinner because we were all too full. But I didn't have anybody saying, well, dessert's supposed to be right after dinner. When you go to a restaurant, don't they ask you right after they take your plates away, would you like some dessert? That's in a restaurant and I'm in a house. That doesn't go. You get your dessert when you want it. You don't have to have it right after dinner. You can have it when, in my house, you can have your dessert whenever you want it. Hell's bells. If you want it before dinner, you can have it before dinner. Or you can have it the next day. And that's what we did. We had it the next day because it was still good. So, we were full from eating our turkey that had been smoking all afternoon. And the pie that had been baking all afternoon. And we had a good time. We enjoyed our dinner. And isn't that the most important thing? Absolutely. Regarding toxic people, giving too much thought to their troublesome nature only grants them influence over you. Prioritize your well-being and reclaim your power. Quit thinking about how troubling your difficult person is and focus instead on how you're going to go about handling them. This makes you more effective by putting you in control because that's where you need to be, and it will reduce the amount of stress you experience when interacting with them. I've beaten this one to death over the years and can't say enough about the importance of sleep. Oh, okay. We don't forget. Emotional, intelligent people are quick to forgive, but that doesn't mean that they forget. They never forget. Forgiveness requires letting go of what happened to you so that you can move on. It doesn't mean you'll have a wrongdoer, give a wrongdoer another chance. Successful people are unwilling to be bogged down unnecessarily by others' mistakes. So they let them go quickly and are assertive in protecting themselves from future harm from that person. They squash negative self-talk. Absolutely. My negative self-talk used to be explosive. Not anymore. My negative self-talk, minimal. Maybe once a day. Maybe once a week. But I used to do it daily. I don't anymore. They limit their caffeine intake. I never understood this because coffee never made me jittery or, like people say. But I just don't need it like I used to. I just don't think I need it. I can go days without drinking coffee. They get some sleep. I've beaten this one to death over the years and can't say enough about the importance of sleep to increasing your emotional intelligence and managing your stress levels. When you sleep, your brain literally recharges, shuffling through the day's memories and storing and discarding them, which causes dreams, so that you wake up alert and clear-headed. Your self-control, attention, and memory are all reduced when you don't get enough sleep or the right kind of sleep. Sleep deprivation raises stress levels on its own, even without a stressor being present. And drink plenty of water. Water helps too. God, I drink probably about 4 of those a day. A good night's sleep makes you more positive, creative, and productive in your approach to toxic people and to everything in your life, giving you the perspective you need to deal effectively with them. We use our support system. It's tempting, yet entirely ineffective to attempt tackling everything by yourself. Use your support system. To deal with toxic people, you need to recognize the weakness in your approach to them. You need to find a strong approach to them. This means tapping into your support system to gain perspective on a challenging person. Run through your blogs that you listen to every day. You'll find the source to help you with that. I know I have. Everyone has someone at work or outside work rooting for them, ready to help them get the best from a difficult situation. Identify these individuals in your life and make an effort to seek their insight and assistance when you need it. I wish I had Carlene. She'd be right on it with me. Bringing it all together. Before you get this system to work brilliantly, you're going to have to pass some tests. Most of the time you will find yourself tested by touchy interactions with problem people. Thankfully, the plasticity of the brain allows it to mold and change you as practice new behaviors. Even when you fail, implementing these healthy stress relieving techniques for dealing with difficult people will train your brain to handle stress more effectively and decrease the likelihood of ill effects and needing to get on medications Maybe it's a way to get off of those medications so you can lead your life in a good, healthy way. Because that's what we need. We need to lead our lives in good, healthy ways. Think about that. And remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. I love you all. I wish you a happy Friday, December the 27th. Yes. Have a blessed day. Have a peaceful day. Weekend's right around the corner. And then the next thing is New Year's. Woo! Peace. Love. See you tomorrow.